Good evening, and welcome to the Fortean Slip. This is episode -4. Bigfoot breakdowns lead to a lawsuit. I finally, today, played through a game of Final Girl. Well worth it. I suggest you guys, if you like that sort of thing, pick that up. Check it out. I played the, what was it? It's over there. The Camp Happy Trails. That one. But tonight, we're going to dig into one of the strangest, messiest, and depending upon who you ask, most instructive chapters in modern Bigfoot history. A story about a single photograph, a federal lawsuit, and a community that couldn't decide whether it stumbled onto evidence or stepped directly into a movie set. Back in 2012, researcher Melissa Hovey released what became known simply as the Hovey photo. You've probably seen it, the back of a massive hair-covered figure, supposedly captured by an anonymous witness on a trail camera. Hovey claimed she was holding the copyright on behalf of this mysterious photographer, and I keep doing that every single fucking week. Someone who, to this day, has never revealed themselves. Now, the Bigfoot world loves a good mystery, but it also loves a good debate, and this photo ignited both. Within days, creature effect artists were saying the fur looked suspiciously like off-the-shelf costume material. Then a film director, Carl Kozak, of the 2006 movie Claude, stepped forward, claiming the image looked exactly like his production's Bigfoot suit. According to him, not only did it resemble their costume, but it was their costume. Suddenly, the trail cam Bigfoot didn't look so wild, just maybe a little Hollywood. Enter Phil Poling, a former police officer and the creator of the Parabreakdown YouTube channel. Phil does what Phil does. He took the photo apart, he analyzed it, dissected it, poked at the copyright claims, and produced videos pointing out that Hovey couldn't legally hold copyright to a photo she didn't take. And that's where things went from weird to federal. Hovey filed DMCA takedowns, Phil filed counter notices. The videos stayed up. And then came the big step. Hovey sued Poling in federal court for copyright infringement. What followed is now part of Bigfoot world lore. After reviewing the case, the court dismissed the lawsuit with prejudice, meaning it was done, finished, over. And according to the agreement tied to that dismissal, Hovey was required to remove her public copyright claim on the photo. In light of all that, joining me now is Phil Poling of Parabreakdown. Phil, welcome back to the Fortean Slip.
Yo, Chris.
It says here in this thing that I got written up by good old ChatGPT that you walked away with all your videos intact. Is that true?
With all my videos intact?
Yeah, because I questioned that. That's why I didn't read it.
Well, the videos in question were taken. I removed myself.
Right.
But, of course, that didn't help any. You know. But and there's really no sense in keeping them. And they were subsequently deleted in the months following. And so, yeah, it was an interesting time. Cost me $12,000 to defend myself.
And do we assume? I know that going back from when I was talking to you back when it was going on, we assume it didn't cost her much of anything.
No, I think that the attorney she had was basically doing it for a third of whatever she would haul in, and
right.
The attorney worked for a firm, a law firm And apparently she was fairly new, and she was put in charge of real estate law.
Aha.
So I mean, she wasn't a copyright attorney by any length of the imagination, but she saw a quick buck. Let's just say that. And so with a lawsuit for copyright, the minimum is 75,000. So she was in to get a pretty healthy chunk, and she fell for Hovey's bullshit in regards to her legal authority on the photo, which was all based on the fact that she had filed for copyright with the Copyright Office fraudulently, but still they granted her the copyright. So that was what she was going on.
And she was never taken to task for that either.
No. Oh, no. They don't have an enforcement branch with the Copyright Office.
Of course not.
They don't even have they don't really even check beyond doing a cursory Google search for the photo. And since only Hovey and Tom Biscardi had the photo, it wouldn't show up anywhere on their Google search except for her post on her channel. So he's like, okay, yeah, all right, granted, rubber stamp.
And away we went.
And away it went. Yeah.
Yeah, I like I said, I remember that time. I remember talking to you about the whole thing because we had just done the Dr. Meldrum foot fetish video. You and I. And you were like literally right in the middle of that whole lawsuit.
Yeah.
And I had wanted to talk about it. I wasn't sure what we were allowed to talk about. We really, I at the time, I think we tried to skirt a lot of stuff that we knew about that we couldn't talk about. But
Right.
at this point, it's all, as you were saying before the show, I believe, sewage under the bridge.
Sewage under the bridge.
So, yeah, it now nothing has happened since then to her regarding this whole thing. It's just you just had to spend a lot of money to clear your name, basically, and she got away with what I would call what would you call that? A slap lawsuit? Like some
It was. I don't think she had to pay anything. I mean, the attorney basically signed off. So I'll do this for gratis, 1/3 of whatever we make.
She was basically just trying to get back at you, though.
Oh yeah. Oh sure. Yeah, it was retaliation. There's no doubt.
It was just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember at the time when we were looking at this photo, Steve in particular thought that it was a costume.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. If and Steve's in the chat, he can clarify on that for me if he desires to.
And
but
Stephanie is in the chat too. Hi, Stephanie.
Hello. He was pretty sure it was a Bigfoot costume. And he says, yeah. Good old Steve Alcorn, the Sweetwater legend himself, stepping up and clarifying for me there. But yeah, he was pretty sure at the time that it was a costume, but we were all looking at this photo like, what is this? Is it an actual Bigfoot? Because all you see is the back of the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
It
to me, it seemed pretty obvious that, first of all, it was not a trail cam photograph because there was no trail cam designators on it, time, date, stamp. Usually, and back then, if you had a trail cam, the name of the trail cam was always on the bottom right. Trail cam extraordinaire would be right there. Sometimes they'd be bracketed. If it was dark, it would be black and white. In this case, however, It was flash photography. You don't have trail cams with flash photography. What it was is that somebody was in there with a camera with a flash and they took a photo. And that was pretty obvious to me. And then, of course, people would get into the mix and say things like, oh, they were set up. There was many cameras set up in this area with tripwires that would trip the camera and it would take a flash photo, which was bullshit. I mean, yeah, right. Just this one area where this Bigfoot just happened to be walking through.
And just this one image.
And just this one image until recently. Until recently.
Yeah. So, and the debate raged on. I mean, as far as most of us were concerned, this was a costume. We just didn't know exactly from where. We had the idea, like we were saying, Carl Kozak from the movie Claude. And we were all fairly sure that that's what it was. But then this happens to you. And when you came back, you're just like, I'm just out the money.
Right.
Like
right.
I'm screwed. Like, and I just felt, I don't know, it sunk my heart at the time. Like, how can this happen? How can she claim copyright on this photo and then go after you in federal court, cost you thousands of dollars, and there are and come to find out in the end, it's not her photo. She didn't have the right to put the copyright on it anyway. She wasn't given the photo by the person who had the rights to it to begin with. And she walks away fucking clean.
Yeah, the points were that she didn't know who sent her the photo. The person who sent her the photo wasn't shown to have the rights to the photo. She doesn't know who took the photo. She doesn't know if the person who sent her the photo received it from the person who took the photo. And yet she filed a copyright on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically it.
Steve says Hovey really thought it was real, and I think she thought she was going to make bank, thus the copyright.
Yeah, a lot of people thought it was real.
Regardless, though,
yeah,
I find the whole thing suspect, which I do with a lot of things in the Bigfoot community. We've talked about this before. I think it's 99.9% bullshit. There's about 0.01% of stuff out there, which I go, and after seeing it for so long, you become jaded by that. Because it's just obviously a friggin' dude in a suit. Come on. Like some of the videos you post, as soon as I see the little first image that goes, I'm like, oh God, what the?
Right. Yeah. It's like, why even bother anymore doing breakdowns? And now with AI, hoaxers have gotten lazy. They'll just freaking put up an AI.
You think they weren't lazy to begin with?
No, I mean, it's not like they're getting dressed up in a suit and going out in the woods and having a buddy have the camera. And, that takes some effort, but with AI,
no,
I want a Bigfoot charging at me with big teeth. Okay, you got it. There you go.
Yeah, and once they get all of that stuff, so it looks like you can't tell the difference.
It's getting there. Some of it looks pretty damn good. I just recently saw one that I posted a short on. All of the little fingers and digits and toes and everything else. It was a Bigfoot and a little Bigfoot following the big Bigfoot, and the way it moved, the hair looked good. The eyes had that IR reflection from the IR camera. All of the little fingers and everything were in place. There was no indication at all. And if you looked at where their foot hit the ground and how it disturbed the grass, and as the Bigfoot passed by a little bush, you could see the limb behind it just moved there a little bit, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's coming.
I know this has to be AI, because the format that it was posted in wasn't trail cam format. It was an iPhone photo, the vertical iPhone
Mm-hmm.
format. So I said, well, obviously it's fake, but boy, was it good. And I'm like, this is getting nuts.
And they're only going to get better.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Are you kidding?
That's the thing. I mean, how soon before we don't know if we're in the Matrix or not? You know what I mean?
Of
Like
course, yeah.
how close is it? Like, and I think we're really close.
I
We're
mean, I'm
really
talking
close.
months.
It's
It's
it's it's funny. I asked AI a question as I've been messing around with it at one point, and I asked it directly, "How long before you're able to do this for me?" Meaning run games for me in the way that I want. And at the time, this was months ago, it said about 2 years. I'll be able to do everything that you want to do, and I'll be able to speak to you, and I'll be able to give everything to you. I'll describe it to you in speech, not in text. And I was like, well, what about without the speech? Can you just do it with how long will it take you to be able to do all of that with the text? And it said a year and a half, maybe less. And I'm just like, wow. Because
and
I look at where it is now and the things that it can do creatively in the moment are pretty amazing if you give it a little bit of a starting point or whatever or something to build from. So when I look at these Bigfoot videos, I go, yeah, we're not far from just not even being able to, we're going to be completely fooled at some point.
what I was thinking recently was that AI will improve because AI will be involved in that improvement. It won't be a hands-on situation anymore. AI is going to create itself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Once the toys start making themselves,
Yeah,
it's all downhill from there.
it's Skynet, baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So now let's get into what happened recently with this whole
Mm-hmm.
thing, because I saw the video that you posted, and I was like, son of a bitch. Like we all
Yeah.
knew it. We all knew it to begin with, but having some clarification. Now, like this write up said, none of this has been proven in court. However, it's proven.
Oh yeah, yeah. Video. This video, I think, is the ultimate proof. Imagine my shock when I just fell into this, and I thought to myself, where in the hell did this guy? And I looked at it, and I'm thinking, well, that's not as clear as the original, the one that Tom Biscardi sent me, without the
Right.
copyright on it. But this one also doesn't have a copyright on it. And all of the Hubbies had that copyright on the bottom. The only ones that didn't were Tom Biscardi's and mine. Whoever sent it to Hubby sent it to him, and he sent it to me. But this one that I saw, and it was on this Cryptid University channel. And there was another Bigfoot photo that caught my attention, first of all. It had two little baby Bigfoots kind of hanging onto the back of it. And I did some composites and checked the I did some check, with the fakery and all that. And and there were some voids there with where the baby Bigfoots were supposed to be. And I said, okay, well, this is a computer generated, and it was from way back when, like 2004, whatever, or maybe in the late 90s that it was reported. And it was also a flash photo. The story behind it was that a gentleman was driving home, and he just happened to see this Bigfoot walking and took a picture of it.
From the behind.
Yeah, it's from the side and behind,
Right.
as it was walking from right to left. From inside his car, at a moment's notice, with a flash camera at close range.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I said okay.
Seems legit, Phil.
It seems legit. So I'm researching this, and I noticed, well, this Sasquatch, I've never seen this photo before, but the head and the neck and the shoulders and the back all look like the same coloration, the same lay of hair and everything as the Hovey photo. So I looked some more on his channel. I just started scanning down through his channel, and there was the Hovey photo without the copyright. And that shocked me. And I'm thinking, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, but something was off. First of all, it was not of a very good quality. So certainly not the quality that Thomas Gardy sent me. So I wondered where this guy got it and why it was so fuzzy looking. Well, because it's a real Bigfoot, right? So
yeah, of course.
But I went ahead and I just grabbed a screenshot and compared it with my original Hovey photo, if you want to call it that. And I found out that, yeah, it's the same subject, same position. The cameraman was in the same spot, taking a flash photo on the back. Everything was identical except one thing: the hair. The hair was different, completely different. In one photo, you'll see the hair's lying in strings this way. And in this photo, you'll see where it looked like somebody came in and combed or brushed all the hair down. And it was obvious that it was not the same photograph. So apparently, this real Bigfoot was just standing there while this photographer decided to take a couple of shots of its back, and a woman would come in and tidy up his hair to make it look nice for the shot.
As you do.
As everyone would know, you must do if you come across a Bigfoot.
I mean, come on now. We've had enough of these blurry photos that look horrible, Phil. Someone should come up and spruce this thing up a little bit. Yeah. That's my take.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a very good opinion.
Makeup.
So, so I thought, well, this is proof positive that obviously it's a costume. Proof.
Yeah.
I can't see it any less than that. So, despite all of the experts who were doing, remember all the size comparisons?
Oh yeah.
And they were taking shots of real apes and measuring the shoulder width, and it just got way out of hand way back when.
If you stay in this long enough, you will see a lot of tomfoolery.
And skullduggery.
Yeah. And people are willing to stretch so much. It's sad sometimes. Yeah, like the truth can't be enough for people. It's sad.
Well, there's a certain amount of desire that goes on there too. If you want to see something bad enough, you will, and you're willing to forgive a lot of skullduggery.
Yeah.
In favor of your own personal opinion and the support of that opinion.
Well, I think that therein lies a lot of the problem in the Bigfoot community.
Confirmation bias is very easy to come by.
Well, and there's too many people that support people where it's very well known that those people are not presenting factual evidence. And yet they support them because there's like this hierarchy or whatever where you can't, talk bad about this person because then, you'll incur the wrath of whatever. I've never understood why it can't be about, like, what you've always been one of those people, which is why I've always liked your channel. I've always liked the stuff that you do. You're unabashedly just who you are and honest about it, to the point where, as far as you know, like, I wouldn't go to say that you would purposefully put out anything there that was a lie, but you might get caught by something somewhere along the line. I would say that there could be that possibility when you're doing
Fooled.
stuff.
I could be fooled by something.
Right. That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
fucking Penn and Teller, that show.
Yeah.
People can fool other people. Because, like, the amazing Randy said, that is the job of the magician. And I look at these people as magicians.
Mm-hmm.
It's to show some people something wondrous, and they know that you're lying to them, but they believe it anyway. And
Yeah,
I look at this community a lot like that.
Mm-hmm. And this community is very much a series of cliques.
Oh,
and there are a lot. There are cubby holes, little cubby holes of this people over here and this people over here, and the invisible Bigfoot over here. There are all these cliques, and I have gotten away from that. Even the ones who are supposedly investigating, and the ones who are skeptics. There's a group that is a Bigfoot Skeptics Society or whatever, and it's a society, so I'm not going to get into it. Yeah, and I just, as you said, I think it's best if I look at things the way I see them and report it as I believe them to be.
Right.
And let the chips fall where they may. And if someone doesn't like it, well, gee, I'm really sorry.
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
I don't care.
So I wanted to ask you this, Phil. What, back in you started on YouTube fairly early. I mean, a lot earlier than I did. And when you started, it wasn't Parabreakdown. You didn't announce who you were. You were like this shadowy figure, super Soylent.
Mm-hmm.
What made you do that, and why did you do it that way?
My two boys were into making videos at that time, and I thought, well, this is great that you're being skeptical about certain things in politics and religion and so forth. And they said, well, you should do a channel. And I said, well, I'm because of my position, I don't know if I should show my face. And they, well, do something, put yourself in shadow or something and change your voice. And that way you can go ahead and be skeptical about just about anything you want to. And I said, yeah, you're right. That sounds like it might be interesting. And there were some things that kind of drew my attention, and things like, oh, I think I'll go ahead and report on that. And I did that thinking, well, I don't care what people think really, because I'm not monetized. I'm not asking anything. And I don't take these people to bed with me every night, so I don't care what they say. But even that had its niche. I got involved with these groups of atheists who were, and a lot of my contact was about religion and atheism and all this, and there was a lot of combative things going on between friends of mine who were in the atheist community and the Christians, and they were constantly in debate with each other and making videos back and forth, and it got pretty crazy. And it wasn't until I met Sean, and Sean said, you did a couple of Bigfoot videos, and there's a real need for someone to do breakdowns in Bigfoot. give it a shot. So I
Yeah.
did. And and then I started making them. And then he says, you got to monetize it. I didn't want to monetize it. I said, come on, I'm just doing this for giggles and grins and because I'm interested in it. But he says, no, just it doesn't take much. Go ahead and monetize your channel and blah, blah, blah. So I did. And 4 days later, I did I think it was Reno, Nevada. No, it was a Utah. Provo, Utah, Bigfoot breakdown. And I thought it looked pretty good. So, and it had already gotten on the news channel. And I ended up making 7,000 on that one video. Those were the days you could actually do that, where when something went viral, you really got a lot of money for it. That doesn't happen anymore. It hasn't happened in years.
Yeah.
But that was the one big
I mean,
shot.
they'll pay you.
Yeah. You know, but these days, I'm doing it very much just for, I guess, mad money, you want to call it, like the Avon lady back in the 60s. Went to the door. She did it for mad money. So she'd have a little, to get herself a little makeup bag. The makeup bags for men these days are very expensive. So
I understand, Phil.
Yeah. But anyway, but $200 a month, I can't complain. Pays for my supplements.
Yeah. No, I completely get that. Anyone that's getting into this in this day and age to make any type of money is, I mean, your chances are very slim because you got to be in the millions of views at this point.
Yeah. You need to have like, 1 million subscribers. You need to have a pretty face or big boobs, and basically post about anything. Just put your face out there and make comments about this actress, or this actor, and this show, and this game, and you'll do it.
I'd say stay in your lane, whatever that lane is. But
yeah.
Don't do it to try to do anything. Just do it.
Need to stay in your lane. I mean, as soon as you step outside that comfort zone and start electrocuting your dog, it's all over for you.
It could be a problem.
Yeah.
It could be a problem. And especially if everyone on the internet sees you do it.
I'm not saying someone did
I'm not saying that a gentleman on Twitch may have electrocuted his dog with a shock collar and then claimed that he in fact didn't do that.
Right. Well,
but it seemed pretty obvious to me that he shocked the dog.
Be careful. Be careful what you say.
I'm just saying it seems
like.
Could
it be that possibly,
in my opinion,
that some people could be right?
People are saying, Phil,
maybe
that this fella could have shocked his dog. It's so awful. Like, you watch that video and you hear that dog yelp, and I'm like, man, that hit me in my feels. Because I'm a dog person.
Yeah, well, you can imagine it was well-deserved. What he got was well-deserved.
Oh,
not
yeah.
The dog, not the
No,
dog.
no, not the dog.
The other dog.
Yeah, the one with the button.
The one with the thing button.
Just remember, folks, Frankenstein, the doctor was the monster. Not the creature.
And in The Wizard of Oz, it was the good witch Glenda who was the real villain.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I didn't know that.
Well, first of all,
I'm very confused.
Dorothy kills the one witch, right?
And then she has to go kill another one.
And then what Glenda does, she
wants to. She's the Highlander.
She steals.
There can be only one.
Steals them from the corpse, and puts them on Dorothy, right? So the other witch shows up with, where's my shoes? Well, I stole them and I gave it to this girl. Oh, by the way, you can go ahead and click your heels together and go home anytime you want. But I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to tell you that now.
Now,
No, because first I want you to kill this other witch for me.
take out the other one.
Take out the other one. So
This makes total sense to me.
Takes out the competition. Not only that, but took out the wizard. He had to fly away in a balloon.
This is a female version of the Highlander.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, that was it. She was the wicked one all along. Just the other witch was just trying to defend.
And you were there. And you were there.
Were there.
I
remember.
I remember being a kid, and they would get us together. That one night out of the year when CBS, I'm pretty sure it was CBS that had the rights to it. And they would only play that movie once a year.
Yes. Yeah. When my eldest sister was 5 or 6, it came on TV. And according to my mother, halfway through, and the witch was coming after her, and my older sister was just crying her eyes out. When she's ever gonna get home? I'm like, oh, okay, wow, cool. Anyway,
and a movie with so many conspiracy theories. Like, I remember hearing about the midget that hung himself, or little person, dwarf, whatever you want to call him.
Mm-hmm.
So often when I was a kid,
mm-hmm.
That's all you heard about.
Mm-hmm.
And come to find out, that was completely bullshit. That never happened. But the people who played the Munchkins were atrocious. I guess they were drunk all the time. Oh, yeah. They were trying to feel up Dorothy. Like, just an atrocious set to be on.
They all stayed at the same hotel.
Yeah.
And they tore that place up
to smithereens. And then you've got the stuff that happened to the Tin Man. Like, he had serious problems from one of the guys almost died.
That was Buddy Ebsen.
Yeah. Almost
Buddy Ebsen was supposed to be the original Tin Man. You may remember him as being
Jed Clampett.
Jed Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies. And he was
Here's also a little story about a man named Jed.
And but he was allergic to the silver paint.
So, and the other guy had problems with it too.
Yeah, some skin issues with it, but
yeah. I guess the dude that played the Scarecrow, they tried to have him do it, and he was like, no. So they moved him over to be the Scarecrow. That whole movie, though, like the witch wound up getting the burns.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that whole thing, just crazy stuff that happened on that set.
There was not a lot of safety, measures back in the 1930s.
No, it was just, let's get this shit done.
Oh, the thing with the hanging, if you saw the later version of that, was that you could actually see, there was one frame in the movie where you could see someone hanging from the tree.
Yeah, but I went back and watched that. It's something else.
It's a peacock.
Yeah, it's a bird. I was just gonna say it's a bird.
Yeah, they had peacocks running loose on the set. Anyway.
But to get back to you, here's something that I remember about you that I found hilarious at the time. You trying to get at the guy who was putting out the Rod videos.
Oh yeah, Jose Escamilla.
Jose Escamilla.
Mm-hmm.
You trying to get under his skin was probably one of the funniest things I think I've seen. Just relentless.
Yeah, good old.
What prompted you to do that?
Oh, geez. I saw someone brought to my attention that he had put out a movie about the fake moon landing or something, and how aliens were on the moon and all that. And I started looking at it, and I said, this guy's crazy. But the rods thing, the skyfish, the rods, Mike Merchant actually turned me on to that.
Really?
Yeah, Mike Merchant had a couple was actually taking photographs of insects behind his house to try and prove that they weren't rods that Jose was showing, but insects. And I did that too, but it just got way off the rails. And I was doing parodies and all kinds of that's one parody I think is still on my channel, Moon Rising or something.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Yeah, and it was basically a parody on Jose Escamilla's movie.
Right.
Just took segments and overdubbed and stuff. Had a lot of fun with it. I created my own rods, which were actually seagulls taken with night cameras, security night cameras. And
Seagulls, really? You didn't do it with insects?
Well, I didn't have to, because at the port we had the security cameras, and they slow down to capture light. And because the shutter speed is so
slow, yeah,
that the seagulls look like rods. It just because of the wings moving.
No kidding.
And so, yeah, in fact, I think I've got that on my channel too. I know I do.
Yeah, but I remember hearing you talk about that,
and
about messing with him.
And Jose Escamilla's producer friend actually took it and put it on his channel as the real deal. I was promoting it as the real deal.
Oh, that it was an actual video of rods.
Yeah, there was and I sent it to him because he wanted substance for his channel. And then months later, I sent it to him. I said, that's fake. And he says, how do you know it's fake? I says, well, you see the little Morse code, the little characters at the very bottom? Those are actually Morse code, dit, da, dit, dot, dit, dit, they actually spell something. Look them up and see what they spell. Well, it spells super soylent. And then right after he discovered that he'd been had, he recut the video and just blocked out the lower part.
Oh, of course he did. Of course he did. So what got you associated with Merchant?
I can't remember. It was he saw one of my videos. Oh, he was one of them that was in the atheist community, and we all had kind of the same friends.
Yeah.
And he liked my videos or something, and he said we should do something with Bigfoot.
For people who may hold on, for people who may not know, Michael Merchant was a pretty, I would say, prevalent guy in the Bigfoot community. I know when I got into it with Team Taser, he was all over the place, and he had done a TV show, some type of survival TV show, wasn't it, Phil?
Mm-hmm.
Did he win that?
No.
No.
You're talking about the $20 million Bigfoot?
No, not the Bigfoot one, the survival one.
The one where he had to go down to Virginia, and there were some swamp people there and alligators and all that.
It was some survival show.
I remember which one it was.
Yeah.
It was the 1 week survival thing where he had to go down to, I think it was Chile or someplace.
Yeah. And I went through and watched that. I thought at the time I thought it was very, very good. I was a fan of Michael Merchant for a while. And then at some point he seemed to, the best way I can put it is go off the rails.
Well, I was just going to say it just in that way.
Completely.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, this man went from Bigfoot's a flesh and blood animal. We need to capture one or kill one or taser one or whatever. We need actual physical proof. He went from that to like, what, they were like tree people or something. It went totally woo, like totally off the rails woo. And I went, what?
Well, he has always been a little desperate for income. And I think that's what the impetus was, that he found that he can get more, more bees with honey. And so he kind of went over to the woo side where there's more people
willing to buy
willing
your
to
bullshit.
buy into the crap. Yeah.
Yeah, I
If I had to
guess.
do it all over again, if I was that way, I'd have 1 million subscribers right now, because people don't want to hear the truth. By and large, they don't.
No, and that's always been the problem with my channel. I
Yeah,
mean, for
right.
a while at one point did it got semi-popular. And I say semi-popular because I mean, we didn't get a lot of views, but we got views.
Hmm.
But as time went on, it's what I realized. It's like you either got to do this because you love it and
Hmm.
you want to do it, or you're going to constantly be miserable. Because that's what
Right.
I was. I was constantly looking for some type of validation from how much I got in views, and I the people didn't want to hear that this wasn't true and that wasn't true. They wanted to hear no, time travel exists, and people are doing it right now.
Yeah, and
And
the Earth is
Bigfoot,
flat. Yeah.
yeah, the Earth's flat, Bigfoot's real, UFOs are everywhere, aliens are taking people. Like that's all they want to hear. They don't want to hear a rational look at
Hmm.
what is being presented. They
Yeah.
just don't.
Yeah, you get more clicks if you're in the bubble.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Uh,
and that bubble is quite large.
yeah, yeah. I've said before, after I watched the Willow Creek movie from Bobcat Goldthwait, and I watched his interview with Joe Rogan, he said something that I was like, oh, please do it. He wanted to do a documentary about Bigfoot, but
Mm.
he didn't want to do it about Bigfoot. He wanted to do it about the Bigfoot community.
Community.
And I was all for it.
I remember that. I remember that. And I'm like, oh, I hope he does that.
Yeah, like please, because listen, I went out to, as you know, I went out to California.
Yeah.
And while I was there, I went to the Bigfoot Museum to live stream for Richter when the Finding Bigfoot people came in.
Hmm. Bobo and all those.
Yes, I met everybody.
Hmm.
And I also met all kinds of people that came there. The cross section of people, it's it's pretty fucking wild, Phil. It's pretty wild what you see. I mean, the people that are all in and they're like dressed up, it's almost like they have a costume. Like they are Batman when they come to this thing. And then you've got the normal everyday people that are just bringing their kids and they watch this
Hmm.
show and everybody loves it, blah blah blah. But the off fringes of people, man, that's where that's where your honey is.
I remember that show, or that the videos. And you weren't the only one filming. I mean, there was other ones there too. That's the
Yeah.
one where Bobo shows up with his entourage, musicians or something.
Oh yeah, he comes in. He came in and he had these two guys. One of them had like a ukulele. I thought he was going to break into somewhere over the rainbow.
Yeah.
It was wild the way this whole thing went down. Do I regret going? No, no, not at all. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
I got to meet Cliff and Renee.
Hmm.
I kind of met Bobo and Matt, but it was in passing. But I did get to sit and talk to Cliff and Renee, and I was very impressed by Renee.
Hmm.
While I was talking to her, she was very intelligent, and of course the
Hmm.
woman that I was with was very impressed by her as well. But that whole idea of looking at the cross section of people in a documentary style to me is gold. Like I wish somebody would do that. If I had the ability and the money, I would do it.
Yeah. It's interesting that there are a lot of people in the community that are well known, Many of them say that I'm well known, and that I've been approached to do shows, Bigfoot shows. I've never been. I've received things on my Gmail from producers, and my response has always been, I would love to do it. However, here's the link to my YouTube channel. I would suggest you go watch a couple of my videos before making up your mind here. And
Right.
they never call me back because they don't want a skeptic.
And for the record, you're not an unbeliever.
Right.
You're
Right.
not a guy who doesn't believe in Bigfoot. You're just a
Right.
guy who believes in Bigfoot
Host.
with the air of, I like the reality of this thing, not the CGI hoax, whatever it
Yeah,
may
I would
be.
say I believe in Bigfoot, but I also believe in hoaxes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the truth. They're
Well,
out there, and many people, like Bart Catino, for example, he knows that there's a lot of hoaxers out there, and he doesn't associate with a lot of people in the Bigfoot community. He has his own circle, a very small circle of which I'm proud to be one member of, and he stays with that because they're serious researchers. They go to, so.
do you think that Bart, because listen, I won't say that I'm not a fan of Bart Catino's work. I like what Bart's trying to do. Do you think that the Justin Smeha Association sullied his reputation with people? I
It
know it
may
did
have.
I know it did with me.
It may have. I don't think Bart saw it that way at the time, though. He was basically going up there because Justin Smeha knew where it was at, and he basically had to go through Justin to go up to that area to do his research. But it wasn't Justin he took out on the trail that night. It was Sean that he took out on the trail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He
I just often wonder about that whole thing because
he did know about the claim by Justin that he had shot a Bigfoot, and he was ready to believe it based on what he overheard between Justin and someone else behind a restaurant.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So, and he was like, well, damn, he must believe that he really shot a Bigfoot. And
Yeah, I mean,
I'll
like I
give him the
said,
benefit of the doubt,
I don't, like I said before, I don't look at Bart and say he's not looking for valid research. He is. My problem with the whole thing was that I feel like Justin's tainted that whole thing.
Yeah. Now,
Um,
Bart's not in the camp with Justin. I mean,
right.
he's not with Justin Smeha.
No, no, and I understand that. I just feel like that kind of that association, and not just for me, for other people as well. But I'm hoping that as he continues, because I believe you, with what he's doing now,
Mhm.
that he can get back to something that shows us that it is still out there, that people are still out there trying to do the right thing.
And he is.
Because I've run into so much where it's just not. And no matter how much people try to tell me that it is, it's just not. Like that time where you and I went up to the Browns property there, and I walked around that property with David Batdorf, whom I still talk to every so often, by the way, people. He's still a friend of mine. And he left this community. He had enough and said when. But I watched this man try to tell people in very plain English how to do things scientifically, and watched them just not even pay attention. And it was it wasn't astounding to me. I don't want to act like I was blown away. I was just like, really? This is where we're at. Like there's something that could possibly be here. Cuz I was in that camp. That's why I was there. You know, I dragged my ex-wife there. So, looking back on it though, what do you think about what was filmed at the Brown property?
I thought it was legit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the heat signature. I mean, I know Steve because Steve's in the chat. He's going to say it was cows.
Well,
I don't buy that.
I don't see cows in that signature.
Yeah, see, he forgot the C, so he said "ow" because that hurt. Because Phil and I are correct. That's why.
Well, that's not the silhouette of a cow looking forward, from behind, or sideways.
No, and having been there, I do think that something was going on there. I have seen a photo, and I don't have a copy of it. Can't share it with you. But I have seen a photo from that property that makes me completely believe that there is something there. What that something is, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Could that something be an escaped animal? Could very possibly well be. I don't know. Could it be an unknown cryptid? Very well. Possible that it could be. But when I saw this photo, I was like, holy shit. Why aren't they releasing this? And I couldn't get a straight answer.
Well, they had gone through certain stages in their own relationship with their church and with the Bigfoot community that could probably explain that.
Yeah, because that photo, I felt like could have dispelled a lot. I wished it had been released.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's the type of stuff where you're like, why didn't this get put out? Why just the thermal video and image? You know, because this is going to say to make people scratch their heads a little more.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, it'll probably never see the light of day. But those are the things where I go, hey, maybe there is something out there. And like I was talking to you, I think it was on Richard's show recently. I don't think it was privately in chat or anything. I think that it's more likely that Bigfoot is a divergent species. You know, I don't buy into the Gigantopithecus theory anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if it's anything, it's probably a divergent portion of the human population that just went in a different way. Kind of like feral pigs.
I tend to agree with you, and I do feel that it's divergent very early on. But
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I also agree. I can agree with that theory.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning more and more these days. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up right here, Phil. I'm not gonna do news tonight, folks. Like I said, I wanted to really dig into this stuff with Phil rather than read through stupid news stories tonight.
Can I bring up one point?
Yeah, absolutely.
To the hubby situation.
Yeah.
A lot of what happened to me was my own fault. These days, if someone issues a copyright notice, a takedown notice on a video, I will immediately give them an email saying, I'm going to go ahead and give a counter notice in 10 days. If you don't react to that counter notice, I will have that strike removed. That's all I'm concerned about, is having the strike on my channel removed. After that, I will remove your video ever and never see it again. That's happened twice to me in the last 6 months. And I've one of them, by the way, was Todd Standing. And of course, they don't respond to me, but I let them know. I says, I don't need your video. I don't want your video, but I do want the strike removed from my channel. So this is what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
If had I done that with hubby, I would have not been sued.
Yeah,
Instead, I doubled down. I shouldn't have done that.
I've come to realize lately that there's been a lot of things where if I had just let it go, if I had just let it go and just not gotten all worked up, that I wouldn't be in the situation that I was in.
We live and learn, my friend.
Yeah. And, you know, I still, I'm not perfect. I still do that shit to this day, but I'm trying. That's all I can say is I'm trying. That's it for this week, folks. Join me next Saturday. I will be back by myself, unless I find somebody that wants to join the show next week for an interview or a talk of some sort. Until next week, be good to one another. Hope you all had a lovely Thanksgiving. I didn't even note Thanksgiving this week. I ate well. I hope you all did. And until next time, see ya!